Okay, let's see.
Every time I pray in your name, sickness is surrender. Every time I speak through your word,
Hey, Dr. Lenora. Hey, Terry. Hallelujah. Hey, Florida.
You are powerful. You are glorious. God of miracles.
Good evening.
Yeah. You are powerful. You are glorious. God of miracles. My God, your name is holy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Hey, Yolanda. Hey, Florida. Please share. Please share. Please share. Please share.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Please share. Please share. Please share. Please share. Please share. Please share. As you come in. Please share. Please share. Please share.
Yes, you.
Hey, Mary.
Yes, you.
Yes, you. Please do share as you come in. Please share on Twitter. Please share. Please share. Please share. Hey, Chanel. Come on, let's share. Let's share. Let's share. Let's share.
It's a privilege to worship you.
Hey, come on, people.
Yes, he is.
Holy.
Yes, he is.
Holy.
Yes, he is.
Please do share. Please share. Tweet it out. Please invite your followers. Hey, this is Wendy. Hey, please do share as you come in. Share with your followers, please. Oh. you are.
Yes, you are.
Holy.
Holy.
Yes, he is.
Yes, you are.
Holy.
Holy.
Yes, he is.
Yes, you are. Holy.
Well. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Let me just say this. There's a reason for singing that song. There's a reason for starting with that song. I know that we have a platform here where this is not what do you call it? This is not a religious platform. This is not a feminist platform. This is not a political platform. This is a platform where women come together to learn more of each other, to heal, to tell their stories. But as I began to come on today, and I wanted to just come on and just do my regular spiel. And inside of me, I heard, you promised to serve me. You promised to praise me. In spite of anything, you promised to praise me. And so that is why I chose to start like that. This is why I chose to start tonight like that. Because when I was in the throes of my problem, I promised God, I said, if you take me out of this, any platform, anywhere, I will not be ashamed of who you are. I will tell of your goodness. I will tell of your grace and your mercy. I will tell. And so because of that, tonight I start with that song. I start with a song of praises. I respect and I regard my Muslim sisters and brothers that are here. I respect and regard other people, other religion, other culture that is here tonight. I regard you because you are my sisters, you are my brother. Please permit me to do this because this is something that I promised. And a promise is a promise. You see, when you've been where I've been and you promise and you are in the depths of your losing your life and you say, if you can get me, if there's anything out there, if there's anything, if there's a God out there, and if that God can cleanse me, if that God can provide, if that God can get me out of this ledge, out of this problem that I'm in, any position that I'm in, I will praise him. And so tonight is going to be a little bit different because this is what we do here. Welcome to Fearless Visionary Community. This is a place where we tear the veil, hashtag tear the veil, where we tell our truth. And they say, when you say the truth shall set you free. And so tonight, allow my truth to set me free tonight. And when you allow the truth that is inside of me to set me free, you will be free too. And the beginning of it is me praising him. I remember several years ago when I was in the throes of all this problem, when somebody told me I would never make it. Has anybody ever told you that you would never make it before? If you do not know me right now, because I know that we have new people on here, my name is Dr. Princess Fumi Hancock. I'm the captain of the ship, the co-pilot with Jehovah God. I'm sorry, I have to say that. I'm a co-pilot with the Heavenly Father, right? As we, all the other fearless visionaries are co-pilots with the Heavenly Father, right? People call me Princess because I was born into a royal family in the southwestern region of Nigeria, where my family has ruled in the 1280s. Of course, I always tell the funny joke that my mother and my father actually, one time I said 1400, and my father said, it's 1280, know your history. So since then, that have kind of stayed in me. So allow me to be me. Will you allow me to just do me? Will you allow me to be me tonight? Because I believe that if I'm allowed to be me tonight, right, everybody's been coming with stories and powerful stories. If you allow me, right, if you allow me to be me tonight, somebody's going to be set free tonight. If you allow me to just be who God has called me to be, who Jehovah has called me to be, somebody, one person is going to be delivered tonight. I tell you one thing, when I came into this country, I was very young and naive. I came because I had a dream. I had a dream that one day I would be in Hollywood. I had a dream that one day I would be one of those that would be writing movies. I had a dream one day and I saw myself in a theater and I sat back and I was watching my film. I had a dream that one day I would be in Hollywood just kicking it and rocking it with all them Hollywood stars. I had a dream. I had a dream that I would be that one that would bring honor to my family. I had a dream that I would be that one that would not bring shame on my family. I had a dream that I would not be the one that would bring guilt upon my family. Please share as you come in. Share. Keep sharing. If you have to share on your Twitter, go out, share your Twitter, come back in again. I had this dream. And the dream was that I was going to be the one that's going to make things happen in my family. The one that was going to be that person that would take my family from where it was and take it back. But when I came to America, something else happened. Something else happened when I came to America. When I came to America, with my little suitcase and my little purse, just ready to rock it. But life rocked me. Life rocked me because I fell in love. I fell in love I was so madly in love that I could not even see what was going on around me. I was so much in love that I wanted this young man to just be everything that God had called him to be. I was so much in love that, you see, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I know that it is, people tell you that, you know what, when you meet a guy, I'm about to tell you something else that is going to change and rock your world today. People tell you when you meet a guy, as long as the man have potential, just go with it. Well, let me be the first one to tell you, you are not going to eat potential, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a single person waiting on God today, hear this and hear it clearly. You will not eat potential. Do you hear me? You are not going to eat potential. When my parents used to tell me that, you know what, marry up, girl, marry up. I've been telling my parents, oh Lord, what do you mean marry up? What are you talking about? Marry up. No, what about love? You're talking about marry up. My father, my parents would say, I'm telling you not to love anybody. I'm just saying marry up and love them up. Marry up and love them up. Don't be standing down here and saying you want to make them who you want them to be. But I was one of those women that wanted to mold my husband. I wanted to shape my husband. I wanted to put him in a position where, when other women saw him, their head would twist. Where when other women saw him when I was done, yeah, their head twist. But unfortunately, his head twists too. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you are here and you're talking about, oh my God, your husband, you want a husband that you can mold and shape, you better be careful what you ask for. You better be careful what you ask for. And so here I was in America by myself. Of course, I had some aunties. Here I was saying to myself, me and my pen and my dream, my American dream, my Hollywood dream. And I saw in front of me, everything was just going shatter. I remember one of the stories that I told somebody on Periscope. And I said, I will remember when I was married to this young man who had no clue what marriage was about. And sincerely, I had no clue what marriage was about too. I mean, let's be frank here. We both had no clue what marriage was about. We just knew we loved each other. Well, I knew I loved her. I loved him. Well, he loved me in his own way. In his own way, he loved me, right? And so here is two people, right? Haphazard two people coming together to marry. Hey, Ramona, don't marry a project. Well, I married a project, ladies and gentlemen. I married a project. And not only did I marry a project, while I was working, this young man was in school. While I was working, this young man did his first degree. While I was working, this young man went as far as starting a second degree. While I was working with 2 jobs, this young man became a CPA. While I was working. And then when the time comes for us to now settle down and start a business, we started a business together. I had my own business. I trusted in that relationship. I gave the relationship everything. But when everything was done, I lost 2 businesses. I lost cars. I lost home. Can you imagine yourself in your living room one day, sitting in your living room, and you get a call, and you pick up the call, and it was a bank manager. And you say to the bank manager, yeah, why are you calling? And they say, oh, Mrs. Thompson. Oh, by the way, the house that you and your wife and your husband was getting ready to buy, yes, the loan has been approved. And I'm sitting there saying, I didn't buy no house with nobody. This is the only house that I know of. And the bank manager said, oops, I'm sorry. That was a mistake. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. That was a mistake. I'm sorry. That was a mistake. And I said, hold it. That's not a mistake. You called Mrs. Thompson, and this is Mrs. Thompson. And I do not know a house that I'm buying that I went to buy. And before I knew it, barely a month, another phone call came in. And this time around, when the phone call came in, what did he say? He said, oh, I just wanted to let you know, because you were so nice the last time, I just wanted to let you know that somebody called, your darling husband called and said foreclose on her. But let me tell you something. I want to share something, because I know that there are men right here that they need to learn. I need to learn from the mistakes that myself and my ex-husband made. Because frankly, I cannot sit here and say it was all his fault. You know, I know women want to hear me say that it was all his fault, but I cannot sit here and say it was all his fault. Let me tell you why I cannot sit here and say it was all his fault. Because when things were going wrong, I should have stood up and corrected some things, but I sat back and laid back and allowed these things to fester. If you are married today, do not allow things to fester in your home. Do not allow things to take root before you take action. A lot of times, many women, instead of us to take action, now there's nothing wrong with praying. We get on our knees and pray. But guess what? After you get on your knees and pray, you've got to get up at some point and take action. But many of us do not take action. The cat is out in the bag. That's right. We do not take action. The only action we take, we get on the knees and we start praying and hope to God that there's a genie somewhere out there that we do what we're supposed to do. I shared with a lot of you here, you know my story, the deep freezer lady. I shared with some of you. The last day that I was in court, the judge said something to me that I will never forget in my life. He said, Mrs. Thompson, there is a thin line between Christianity, listen to this now, and stupidity. I want you to sit on that for a second. He said to me, there is a thin line. You people think that God does not use us, the judges. But I want you to know that God even put us, the judges, here so that we can help you all out. There is a thin line between Christianity. There is a thin line between religiosity and stupidity. And he said, Mrs. Thompson, I'm afraid you've crossed the line. He said, because when you were supposed to get up and do something, you did not do anything. You were busy praying. You were busy doing everything else but what you were supposed to do. And because of that, you lost everything that you had no business losing. You had no business losing that home, because here you are with a 3.5 and a 2.5 in your hands, and now you don't have no home. You're homeless. If you're talking, if you want to see somebody who went mad, ladies and gentlemen, MAD, you're looking at her. If you want to see somebody that lost her mind completely, for 6 months, I had no clue where I was. I was completely out of it and completely gone. And my parents and my family did not know what was going on with me, because I was too ashamed to go back home. I was that prodigal daughter that was ashamed to go back home, that all the things that to tell the mother and the father that all the inheritance they gave her was gone because of a man. I was that prodigal daughter. I was that prodigal daughter that I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to go home because I felt like, what am I going to tell my parents now? They gave me my inheritance and I blundered it. I blundered it because of somebody. I was that person. I was that person. My parents owned a home here. Think about New Jersey, one of the best areas in New Jersey. They owned a home, free and clear. Nothing, they don't own a dime on it. Do you want to know what happened? I blundered it because I was in love. I blundered it because I was in love. Can you imagine you being the highest, the person who hired the most people on an island? Everybody knew Mrs. Thompson. Mrs. Thompson this, Mrs. Thompson that. If anybody was looking for a job, they would come and find Mrs. Thompson. I owned one of the largest daycare center, ladies and gentlemen, in Staten Island, right by the water. My daycare was right by the water. Another one was inland. If you are one of the ladies that want to sit back and want men to do everything for you, where you are in for a rude awakening, because I'm telling you right now, our men also need our help. They need our help. But they need the right help from us. They need the right help. They don't want us pestering them. They don't want us talking yap, yap, yap at them, but they need the right help from us. When you know that something is wrong, you've got to know. When you know that something is wrong, you've got to stand up and you've got to address it quickly for the sake of yourself, the sake of your children, and the sake of your husband. For years, my family did not know what was going on with me. I could not dare talk to them about it. I could not say it. I just couldn't say it. I couldn't tell them that this is what was going on in my life. I could not tell them. And at the last time, I will never, never, never forget it. And I thank God today. Yes, I know this is not a platform. This is not a Christian platform. But today I raise my hands today and I say, I lift up my hands to the reigning King, the one who is able to deliver, the one who is able to set free, the one and only who is able to deliver. I cannot but thank God. I cannot but thank God for everything that he's done. This princess that you look at was homeless. You hear me? Homeless. Because somebody somewhere decided my fate. Because at some point in my life, I handed everything over to somebody and they decided my fate. Do you know how it feels like when you work so hard for a project? You work so hard for a business, and you come home one day and you look in your mailbox and you bring this letter out from the government and you open it and they're telling you that the business is no longer yours. And you look up and the business is now owned by your husband. Do you imagine that? And I walked into the living room that day and I said, wait a minute. How did this happen? And he said, well, it has happened. And this is the new regime right now. As the director, you will continue to be the director because we need your license to keep it up. And I'm going to be paying you $7.50 an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, as a director, master's degree, he decided in my own company to be paying me $7.50 an hour. And he says to me, there is a clause to that too. Because the week that the money is low, then you don't get paid. You don't get paid. And here I was. I did it God's way. They told me, they said, go to counseling. I said, oh, okay, no problem with counseling. We're sitting in counseling. And everything looked good on the outside, but in the inside, my stomach was churning. Something was churning in my inside. You see, ladies and gentlemen, both men and women, when something is churning in your inside, take your time to figure out what is this thing that is churning. Everybody was laughing. They were happy with me. They were congratulating. Your husband came back home. And I'm saying, but I'm feeling something in the inside. And what I'm feeling in the inside is not like what they're doing on the outside. At some point, my pastor even rebuked me and said, you know what? Now I know who the problem is in this household. You are the problem. My pastor said, you, princess, you are the problem. I said, pastor, please, I want my marriage, but I'm telling you, something is off. Something is not right. And the pastor said, well, I don't know what you mean by that. Nothing, there's nothing going on. See, your husband is repenting and you just don't want to forgive him. I said, I forgive you, but I'm telling you something's wrong. Well, on a Sunday, we'll never forget that Sunday. I took my babies, time to go to church. I called my hubby. I said, let's go to church. He said, oh yeah, hurry up, you guys. I'm following you. I'm right behind you. I need to just make a call. I'm right behind you. Well, I went to church. The church folk told me, oh, princess, let's rejoice. They put me in the altar with the church, with the boys. But something is churning in my inside. And they were thanking God for my husband that came back. But something is churning in the inside. Do you want to guess? Who want to guess what happened? Well, throughout the service, brother never showed up. For the whole service, brother never showed up. And when I got home with the boys, guess what I found? I opened the door. We had a whole house, a three and a half bedroom. I walked in, everything was empty. Hey, Marilyn, everything, you hear me, was empty. My boys, I would never forget it. We walked in. I walked in with my two boys in my hand. And I said, oh my God. The house is empty. The only thing that remained in the house, you know those old TV that people have? Those heavy TVs? Yeah. I guess whoever helped him out, they could not pull that TV out. So they left the TV in the living room. That was the only thing left in a 3.5 bedroom house. Gone. Everything gone. Gone. And I said to myself, why didn't I trust my gut? Even though on the outside, everything looked good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to my men and I'm talking to my women because frankly, all of this happened to men too. I know men that have gone through what I'm talking about too. I know men that have gone through abusive relationships too. I know that many of you, you've come on this platform and you've had stories upon stories upon stories upon domestic violence, stories about abuse. But I want to talk to you about another kind of abuse tonight. And the other kind of abuse is emotional abuse. People will tell you that emotional abuse is less than physical abuse. Well, I'm here to tell you that emotional abuse can be that damaging too. Because when you wake up to somebody telling you that you are not good for anything, that every time you wake up, all you hear is you're good for nothing. You're good for nothing. You're good for nothing. After a while, you will you believe that you're good for nothing. And for me, I would never forget it. All I heard was how bad I was. I was not good for this. I was not good for that. I was not good for this. And even till today, it's over 20-something years, I still hear that voice. Now, the only difference is I'm able to shut it down. So if you are here right now and you're still hearing residual of the past, don't be worried about you. Just know how to shut it down. You've got to know how to shut it down. There are times, even with my married, I'm married now. I've been married for years now to a beautiful and a wonderful husband. I still hear it. I even tell him. I said, there are times I still hear that. You're good for nothing. But you want to know one thing? Every time that I hear it, every time that I hear that voice, every time that I hear it, God has a way. He turns it around. He gives me this. Every time. Every time. I know that some of us have been so frustrated. Some of us have been so abused beyond measure. And I know that you might want to hear from me, that you're no longer going to hear the voice. But I'm here to tell you, look, I'm real, I'm raw, and like my guitar say, uncut. I'm not going to lie. It's been over 20-something years. My boys now, thank God Almighty, 30-year-old and a 28-year-old. Doing incredibly well. Those boys of mine, we slept on the floor. When I say floor, hard, cold floor for 3 years. Me and my boys on a hard, cold floor in New Jersey for 3 years. No mattress, no nothing. No mattress, no nothing. What if I tell you that it's just about 4 years ago that I just got out of court? What if I tell you that it was just recently 4 years ago and my babies are 29 and 27 and it's just recently 4 or 5 years ago that I just finally got out of court? And you want to know how I got out of court? I had a pet beef with God. Because I was not dealing with my ex-husband. I was dealing with demons. I was dealing with something deeper. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot blame too much on others. I was dealing with something that was deeper. And I remember I told my current husband, I said, I am going downstairs and I'm going to stay on that floor until God answers me because I want this chain off of me. Have you ever felt like a chain around your neck? Today, even if it's not marriage, whatever chain that you're feeling out of your neck today, I ask you today, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit down and take it? I'm talking to the men in this place too. If you are being abused, if you are in a relationship that is not right, are you going to sit down and take it? So many people, we've lost so many men, we've lost so many women, we keep losing one another because we will not open our mouth and tell the truth. This platform, we are here to tell the truth. I am not here to badger down any man. I'm not here to depress or suppress any man because I love my men. I'm married right now, and thank God I finally got it right. Thank God I finally got it right. Have you ever gotten to a place where you say to yourself, you have no hope? There's no hope at all. My businesses was gone. My house was gone. My home was gone. And he was even fighting me to get the children away from me. And I said, my goodness, this is all I got, my children. Now you're going to get my children away from me too? And he was setting things up to make it look like he was the wealthy one and I was the poor one. And we all knew where the money came from, but nobody else knew. And at some point in my life, I was at the lowest of the lowest, and I said, enough is enough. And I found myself on Verazaro Bridge. And I will never forget it. A few minutes before 12 midnight, I found myself on it. Isn't that funny? Isn't that strange? That now that I'm on the bridge, getting ready to commit suicide, and all of a sudden, no car showed up. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? When the enemy wants to take your life, he will set it up and help you out to take your own life. The enemy will help you to take your own life. I will remember sitting on that ledge. Hey, Apostle, I remember sitting on that ledge and there was absolutely no car around. Isn't that interesting? How can a bridge, one of the largest bridge in New York, and you're there trying to commit suicide, and nobody showed up? There's nobody there, no car, nothing. Isn't that something? This is what the enemy will do for you. When you are tired, when you are completely tired, then it will help you out too. You have to be the one to back up and say, not here. And I remember the film that God showed me on that bridge, and I began to see my children. They were crying, and I pulled back. I said, why are they crying? But they were crying in the hands of another woman. And I said, oh, whoa, I can't let my children cry. And before I knew it, I began to hear the voice in my head saying, is this the legacy that you want to leave for your children? Is this the legacy of suicide? So I ask you today, I ask you tonight, what legacy are you working out for you and your household? Is this the legacy? Is it the legacy of hope, or is it the legacy of hopelessness? What kind of legacy are you working out for your family? And I began to hear it. And you say, what do you think the children will always say? They will always tell themselves and blame themselves that you killed yourself because of them. And because of that, I backed up. And I said, well, God, whatever it is, I'm ready to face it. Ladies and gentlemen, many of us are dancing around the same issue. We're dancing around the same mountain over and over again because we don't want to face it. Ooh. We're dancing around a mountain that we're supposed to climb and conquer because we don't have the guts and the backbone. We're dancing around it and hope to God that somebody else will do the climbing for us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, nobody's going to do the climbing for you. Nobody is going to do the climbing for you. Whatever it is that you're facing today, you're going to have to look it in the eye and face it and do the climbing. But the good news is you will overcome. That is the good news. That is the promise that we have. We were never promised the middle. We were never promised that the middle was going to be smooth. We were never promised that the middle was going to not be rough. But the great news that we have is that at the end of it, we conquer. At the end of it, we overcome. So you see, you must learn to finish strong. Everything that you lay your hands upon, you have to learn to finish strong. Whatever situation that you find yourself before, regardless of how the situation, no matter how bad the situation was, I want you to know today that you can take that situation and use it as a stepping stone to set yourself on the other side. You must finish strong. What is your legacy? What is your legacy? If you closed your eyes today, what do you want people to know you for? Do you want them to know you are somebody who could not finish strong? Do you want them to know you are somebody who chickens out of every situation? Do you want them to know you are somebody who is always frustrated every day and never has any good thing to say? What is your legacy? And how are you going to finish strong? I tell you what, when you decide, the day that you decide that you're going to finish strong, that is the day that help will come. Let me say that again. The day that you decide that you finish strong, that will be the day that help will start to come your way. Some of us right now, we don't have help because we have not made that decision subconsciously and consciously that we have determined to finish strong. So if you're here right now and you're still going through the same mountain over and over and over again, I want you to stop in your track right now and make the decision to finish strong. Because frankly, strength will not come to somebody who has not asked for it. Right? Strength will not come if you have not asked for it. But let me also say, when you ask for strength, then you know that there's going to be war. Because how is strength going to be tested if there's no war? Right? How is strength going to be tested? But when you have war, then you know at the end of it, something great is going to happen. So Fearless Visionary, this platform, I don't even want to call it platform anymore because I call it a sacred platform, a sacred place where things are happening. I mean, just radical things are happening in this place. We're telling our stories, we're tearing the veil, regardless of what, we're setting ourselves free and we're telling the truth about who we are. Either something when you spend all your life trying to be, and then when you hit 50, then they tell you something else again, right? All of your life, you hear, oh, your accent is too strong. You can't work in Hollywood. Your writing stinks. Your writing, nobody's going to read your writing, right? Then they tell you, oh, by the way, you are now 50. Oh, no, now it's over for you, right? Then they tell you it's completely over for you. But I'm here to tell you that I'm a witness to tell you that age is but a number. Those who are familiar to the Bible understand that. Abraham became Abraham, not at 20. Sarah became Sarah, not at 20. So I'm here to tell you that age is but a number. Now, here is a tip of the things that have happened in my life since then. Just a tip, not all of it, just a tip. Every time that the enemy tells me I cannot do it, I get up and do it. So whatever the enemy is whispering in your ears right now and telling you that you cannot do, get up and do it. You might have to do it on one leg. You might have to do it with your back hurting, but get up and do it. In the midst of them saying, Princess, you are too old. Princess, you have a thick accent. Princess, what does this say? Princess, your writing stinks. Princess, you can do this. Princess, you can do that. Well, this is just a fraction of it. It's not all of it. Every time they say I cannot do it, I get up and do it. But the thing is, many of us, when people tell us we can't do it, then we go and crawl in a hole. We start feeling pity party. We go into a pity party. We want people to pat us and tell us how nice we are. Well, you know what? Take your time and tell yourself how nice you are. Will you, as you watch me today, can you just do this and say, hey, girl, you are fine. You are beautiful. You are top of the cream. There's no one like you, girl. You are the best of them all. Tell yourself that. Quit waiting for somebody like me or anybody to tell you how great you are. Tell yourself how great you are. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Tell yourself that. Quit waiting. It is time for you to look inside of yourself, whatever the hindrance that you have, because let me tell you, the greatest enemy that we have is inside of us. Can I say that again? Our greatest enemy is in us, not out of us. Hey, Connie. Our greatest enemy is inside, not outside. And so some of us were busy pointing fingers at everything that is wrong in our home, pointing fingers at our husband, pointing fingers at everybody around us. It is he made me do it, she made me do it, she shouldn't have done it, he shouldn't have done it, he said it, she heard it, and we're busy pointing fingers all over the place, and the battle is inside of us. Some of us right now, we got to deal with the inside battle. Because when you deal with the inside battle, then you're strengthened and you're able to just do what? Encourage yourself. Don't wait for nobody to encourage you. Right? I said something yesterday. I talked about the number one problem that happens that breaks a home is finances. Think about it. The number one problem that breaks a home is finances. And it breaks a home because men and women no longer understand all the love. But then when they get to the finances, they no longer understand themselves anymore. Then there's problem. Things start happening. You're spending money. You're not spending enough money. You're spending too much money. You're putting it out here. I'm the only one doing the work. You're just sitting around in the house. So all these things happen because of finances. Because of finances. The pressure is on us in America to live a kind of standard. We want to live a kind of standard, right? We want to be proud of where we live. And sometimes we don't mind paying for it. But then the problem comes when only one person in that house is the one doing it. I know the Bible says that the man take care of the husband, of the wife. Yes, I know that. Because I can imagine what some people now are thinking. I know that's what the Bible says. I know even the Quran says it, that the man takes care of the wife. But you know what? We live in an age now that things are different. Things are different, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got to accept that. And frankly, ladies, let me tell you the truth. If you want to be independent, if you are married and you want to have peace in your home, you need to have your own money too. I'm telling you right now. If you want to have peace in your home, I don't care how lovey-dovey the man says he wants to love you. He do want to love you, but the time is going to come where he himself is going to be afraid of how to push forward. So it's important for you as a woman too to say, you know what, I've got to have my own. If we know what the problem is in the home, there's no sense trying to say where the Bible says, and then we stay home and say, well, after all, the Bible says. Give me a break. Give me a break. The Bible didn't make it a rule. It was not a rule. It was just a suggestion. It was not a rule. But let's think about it. Deborah in the Bible worked. She was a judge and a minister of God. She worked. Didn't she? So I don't know where we got this idea that we have to sit at home and do this. Why somebody else is running around the streets. Right, Dr. Lenora? Where did we get the idea from? You've got to have your own. You've got to have your own. So this is the platform where we're telling ourselves the truth. We're not trying to sugarcoat anything. We're learning from each other. Now, let me say this. When you have your own, there's nowhere you put it to. Let me just say that, because my own problem was not because I didn't have my own. I had my own, but I had no idea how much I had. Now that's even worse than the first one, because the first woman don't have their own. This one here had her own and didn't even know how much until divorce was over. I didn't even know how much I owed until the divorce was over. You hear me? Then I'm in the house just looking at some papers. And I kept seeing, I said, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I counted the whole thing and I said, I did not even know. Every time I was told that we had problems in the school, I counted the whole thing. There was 1 year that in 1996, there was 1 year that I made $250,000 in one of the schools. $250,000, ladies and gentlemen, in one of the schools. I did not know. I did not know. So it's not about just owning your own. It's also about knowing what you own. What is it that you own? And what is it that's together? Having our men do it all in this age is very stressful. Tell your money what to do. It's very stressful, ladies and gentlemen. But I have to tell you, if you make a decision to stand strong, regardless of what you're seeing, regardless of what you're experiencing, I promise you, help will come. The day you decide, I don't want this chain anymore. The day you decide, I am tired of being put down anymore. The day you make a decision and say, I'm not telling you to go start punching anybody. I'm just saying, the day you make that decision, even the men that are watching right now, the day that you make that decision in your own heart, that no more. At your place of work, if you are being suppressed and repressed, the day you make that decision to stand strong, help will start to show up. But if you continue to dance around the issue and pretend that the help, that what you need is not there, and pretend that the problem is not there, the problem will continue to grow and grow and grow and grow until you cannot handle it anymore. So whatever problem that you might be going through right now, I want you to say to yourself, I will finish strong. I want you to look at that problem, write it on a piece of paper and put it in front of you and say, I tell you today, I declare, I decree it, I, Princess, will finish strong. There is a strength in that statement. I want you to try it as you're watching right now. There is strength in that statement. There is power and there's strength in that statement. When you look at it and say, I will finish strong. I often say to a lot of my sisters, the FLS visionary sisters, that every time the enemy brings something, God always has a way of bringing something really cool. When the enemy start messing up, that's when I know, something is about to happen, something great. A breakthrough is about to happen. Tonight, if you are here under the sound of my voice, I want you to declare and decree that my breakthrough is here. Because there's power in your tongue. Is what you say that you will get. That's right. If you are one of those that's constantly saying, I have a headache, I don't know how this is going to be. Oh, I'm so, I'm done. I'm toast. Nothing good ever happens to me. Well, why are you surprised that nothing good ever happens to you when you are constantly telling everybody that nothing good is ever going to happen to you? I was in Saudi for several months, almost a year. And at that place, when I thought that nothing would happen to me, at that same place was when somebody nominated me to be on TED Talk. And today I can really say I'm the very first Black that they ever saw on that platform of TED Talk. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? And what I taught on was the power of our passion, how to speak our passion forward. I want you today to say, I'm going to finish strong. Whoever you are, type it. I want you to type it. I put your name, will finish strong. Come on, people. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And when you finish typing that, say, I know that my breakthrough is here. Let every part of you believe it. Let your mind believe it. Let it receive it. Let your heart accept it. Let your body move in motion for it. Because when you say you're going to finish strong, you're telling me that you're going to do something, not sit around. All right. Somebody didn't understand that one. Somebody didn't understand what I just said. Somebody missed that one. When you tell me that you are going to finish strong, which means that you are ready to take action. You are ready to be responsible, take responsibility for who you are and what you become. Take responsibility. It is not your father's fault. It is not your mama's fault. It is not your dad's fault. Yes, they might have contributed to it, but at the end of the day, when you are hitting 40s and hitting 50, you can no longer be blaming anybody for your actions. Take responsibility. So when you say that I'm going to finish strong, you're saying, Princess, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to finish strong. That's what that means. And if you say to yourself, I know that my breakthrough is here, it tells me that you're ready to grab onto whatever the breakthrough is and put it at your heart and take action. So what is the action that you're ready to take tonight? What action, ladies and gentlemen, fearless visionary for men, fearless visionary for women, whoever you are, if it's men, if it's women, that you're on this platform today, what are the actions that you're getting ready to take that's going to make sure and ensure that you finish strong? I don't know about you. I know this much about myself. Yes, there are times I still feel depressed. Yes, there are times I still feel depressed. There are times things don't go the way I want. But I tell you, I guarantee you, I'm looking at myself now and saying, Princess, wake up. Princess, wake up. Wake up, Princess. Princess, wake up. Now, let me tell you, Princess. Let me tell you what I know about you. I know you are beautiful. Yeah, Princess, wake up. I know you are gorgeous. Yes, I know there's nobody as good as you. I know your DNA is special, Princess. I know that you are top of the frame, Princess. I know that you are the apple of his eye, Princess. I know that nothing is impossible for you, Princess. I know that you, Princess, you will finish first. You will finish first and you will finish strong. So it's time to take action. It's time to take action. Let's talk a little bit about action and then I'll close. Let's talk a little bit about actions that we can take. What are the actions that we can take to finish strong? Number one is belief. Somebody type it down for me. Belief. Number one, belief. That's the first step. Believe. Because until you believe, nothing else can happen. Nothing can happen. So somebody type believe. Number one, believe. Type it in there for me, please. For those of you who are here, thank you so much for being a part of this. Please, I want you to go to our linked, I think it's Linktree/fearless visionaries here and pick up a copy of 2 of the volumes. Tear the Veil, if you have not. They became bestsellers and also hot new releases. So please join us in this happy moment. Number 1, believe. Now, when we talk about belief, that means believing in yourself and believing in the process. Believe in yourself because life is a process, ladies and gentlemen. See, this is where we all get it wrong. Many of us just get stuck in that because we do not want to believe that life is a process. We want to come and create our own little process. Even when people are showing us the process, we want to go the other way. When somebody tells you, let me tell you something. Here's my secret. Let me give you a secret sauce here. Let me give you a secret sauce about belief in the process. When you know somebody has used a process and it has worked for them, you latch on and do the same process. But many of us, that's when we want to go this way and create a whole new process, leaving the process that I've worked behind. So you believe in yourself and you believe in the process. Whatever process, if you have people in your life right now that you believe that they are where you want to go, then learn that process. And if they tell you this is the process, follow the process. Follow the process. That is my secret sauce for you today. Follow processes. Life is a process. You cannot wake up and just say, la di da da da, so what am I going to do today? No, life is a process. Being a multimillionaire is a process. Being the best writer is a process. Owning businesses is a process. Having a wonderful, a beautiful marriage, it is a process. It's a process. If you have somebody whose marriage has been something that you can admire, well, ask them questions. How did they get there? How did they get there? Life is a process. So believe that. Number two. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Right? Number 1, believe in you. Right? Believe the process. Number 2, trust yourself and trust the process. Can somebody put that there for me? Trust yourself and trust the process. Trust yourself, trust the process. Every one of us have this little butterfly in our stomach, right? Some people call it inclination, right? Others call it spiritual guidance, right? We call it different kinds of ways, different kind of names that we call it, regardless of what background that we come from, Muslim, Islamic, Christian. There's something that we call it inclination, spiritual guidance. We call it anything, but that butterfly is there permanently inside of us. And when things are about to go wrong, that butterfly can start doing this. Right? If you're a single woman and you so desperately want a man and you go out to date with that man and some things and you start feeling that butterfly, well, trust you and trust the process. Right? Trust you, trust the process. Can somebody write that there for me? Trust you, trust yourself. Thank you, Anita. Trust yourself and trust the process. Merlin, thank you. Trust yourself. Wendy, thank you. Thank you, ladies. Trust yourself and trust the process. Now, the number three. Number 1, you believe. Number 2, you trust. Number 4, you plan. You plan. Many of us see things and we're so excited, but we run into it without any plan whatsoever. Even in the Bible, it does say that who goes out to build a house and does not know the cost? How do you go out and build a house and you don't know you can't count the cost? If I come to you today and I say to you, what do you want to do? And you say, oh, well, princess, I'm thinking of building a school. Then I ask you how much it is. Then you start looking at me like crossed eye, like, I think. Okay, now let's think about this. Let's think about this. If I have the money that you need, and for some reason you end up in front of me, and I know that you need this money, and I ask you what you need, and you're looking up and down saying, oh, I think maybe 25 will do. Better yet, I think it's 30. Do you think I will give you my money? I'm not going to give you my money because I can't trust you with that money, because you don't even know what you haven't taken the time to even learn it. This is what I tell people. Master your craft. Master your skills. Master who God has called you. Don't rush yourself out there. Master it. I don't care if 31,000 people are coming to your door to tell you to come out. If it's not time for you to come out, do not come out. Not because the same people that drag you out will be the same that will shame you if you fall. I'm talking from experience here, people. All right? I'm talking from experience. So when you plan, as you plan, you know when to come out and you know when to stop. So after planning, you execute your plan. You execute your plan. Right? You plan for it, and then number 4, you execute that plan. Now, let me tell you something. There are some of us, see, let me just share an experience with you. Is a brother of mine in Nigeria. I'm going to tell you about this wonderful young brother of mine that is kicking B-U-T-T, you know what, in Nigeria. Let me tell you a little story about this young man. When he graduated from high school, from college, it was about 7 of them. I think I've told that a few of you that story. It was about 7 of them that graduated. When they finished college in Nigeria, they all wanted to leave Nigeria. The 7 of them, 3 of them filed for visa for London. The remaining 4 filed for America. Well, 6 of them got it, but this brother of mine did not get the visa. He was so depressed. He went over 4 times. They would not give him the visa. And he explained to them that, wait a minute now, the same thing that those people gave you is what I came back with. How come you gave them visa and I don't have visa? They will not give him visa. He was depressed. He didn't know what to do with himself. He was so ashamed. He was filled with guilt, particularly when everybody left. The 6 of them left. The 3 to London, 3 to America. They all left. And he was left at home. Handicapped, not knowing what to do. But you know what to do? He got up and he executed a plan. He created a plan for himself. And he said, well, if America won't let me come, if London won't accept me, then this is where I am. So he finished the first college degree and he went back to law school. He executed his plan and went back to law school. And he focused strictly on that. And when he was done from law school, I'm telling you, he went to the capital of Nigeria and he began to work there. And he started his own practice. Today, this young man owns, I can't even tell you what he owns in Abuja. He owns, commercial buildings. He owns gas stations. This guy, when we go home, he has bags of money in his car and he will just take it and give it to you like that. When he comes to America now, let me tell you something. Now, he can come to America, y'all. The first visa that he got from America, they invited him to come for the visa. 10-year visa, bam. That's right. His wealth was right there where he was planted. Ooh, Ramona, you hear it. His wealth was where he was already planted. That is a message for some of you right now. Where you are already planted, your wealth is there. Sit there and grow it. Hey, that is a message for you all right there. That's a side message for you there. Where you are planted right now, sit there, grow it. And this young man sat there and grew it. I mean, shame. People were they were shameful. They were talking all kind of junk around him. Look at him now. Everybody has gone. They have left him. What is he doing here? He must have done something wrong. There has to be something that's why they did not give it to him. I mean, all kind of things that they were saying about this brother and that had nothing to do with the truth. But they were just coming up with all kind of stuff. But he did not focus on what they were talking about. The other good thing that I learned from him was that he knew when the time to shift. Oh, I'm talking right now. I'm teaching. He knew when it was time to shift. Because his first degree was in English, I think, English or history. I can't even remember. But when it was time to shift, he did not wallow. He did not sit there wallowing. He did not sit there trying to make history or English work. He knew exactly that it was time to shift, and he went straight back to school and he finished as a lawyer. Some of us right now, we are still suffering because we don't know when to shift. Some of us are sitting on our own breakthrough right now because we don't know that it's time to shift. So this brother knew it was time to shift. And he shifted, and what he shifted to didn't even make sense to many people. Because here is he who did English, and now he's going back to school as an attorney. So now another gossip round went out into the atmosphere now. Because now, okay, now the first time he couldn't go travel, gossip, right? After a while, they left him alone. Now he decided he wants to go to become a lawyer. They're like, what's he doing that for now? So now another one go out. Another people go out now and start talking evil about him. What is he doing? He's so confused. He's told that, and they said everything. Now this brother, I'm telling you, what he owns in Nigeria, I can't even talk about it. You want to know what's even funny about it? All of his friends that are currently living in America and London, guess who takes care of them? Brother in Nigeria takes care of them. Brother sends them money from Nigeria to take care of themselves and their family because they now have families. Brother send tickets to them and send them to Nigeria to come and relax. When brother leave Nigeria to go to London, you know those jets? Oh no, you guys, I don't even know if you know these planes that I'm talking about. You know those speeding with the pointed nose that has inside of the plane, they have floors, and the whole floor on top of it is a whole suite. That's the kind of plane that brother takes when he travels. I remember one day he was in one of those and he called me and I said, "But where?" He said, "Well, I'm traveling." I said, "But where are you now?" He said, "I'm in a plane." And he started to describe this plane to me. I said, "Dang, diggity, dang, dang, dang. Dang, 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 diggity, dang." I said, "Brother, you're rocking it." And I love it. He had a whole plane to himself. Brother had a plane to himself. You hear me? The same person that was rejected. The same man that everybody talked evil about. The one that they said, it's finished. It's over for him. I wonder how many of us are feeling that way. Know when is your time to shift. And know when it's time for you to settle into something and build up. And that is the problem that we have. Where you believe in yourself and believe in the process, then you will trust yourself and you will trust the process. And when you trust the process, it allows you to begin to map out your plan. And when you map out your plan, then you're ready to execute. And the good thing is when you're executing, executing within where God has planted you. Many of you right now, you need to look around you and say, God, where have you planted me? And wherever he has planted you, see, here's a mistake, another mistake that many of us make. Let me tell you this. Here's another mistake that many of us make. We think that unless something has our own name, we cannot sit in it. Let me tell, Holy Ghost help me. Ooh. All right, now I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Please. I'm gonna say it. I'm going to say it. If you're here, please clap your hands, do whatever. I need to know that somebody is hearing me. Many times, many of us believe that if something does not have our name, then we must not be. That's not where we are supposed to be. This brother of mine, when he first started out in real estate, let me tell you something. He wanted to get into contracts in Nigeria. Number one, he was too young, because the kind of contract that he wanted highways. He wanted to be doing highways in Nigeria. Now, he was way too young for that, because they were giving it to all these old people that were already seated in there. And so you know what he did? He found himself his old person. You hear me? He lashed onto that person. And that person was getting the contract. Let me tell you what happened. The very first 3 contracts that man got for both of them, you know what that man did? It was a $50 million. Oh, did I say that? Yeah, I said it. Well, the very first one was like 15 million, right? That was a very small one, $50 million. Dollars, not Nigerian money, dollars, right? The man got the check. You know how much he gave my brother? He gave my brother $1 million out of $15 million. You hear me? He gave my brother $1 million out of $15 million. My brother was the one that did all the work. Do you want to know what happened? My brother took the $1 million and said, thank you. When is the next contract coming? How many of us can do that? How many of us watching me right now can do that? Because when he told me to, I was ready to put on a glove, right? Oh, I was ready. Like, what? 15, I gave you $1 million. And my brother said, look, that was $1 million more than what I had last night. It's okay. The day is going to come when I'm going to have my own contract. It's okay. It's okay. And because he kept quiet, the brother had another contract and called my brother. That man got another contract, called my brother. I think the contract was maybe, 35 or something like that. Well, he gave my brother 3 out of 35. Did it again the second time. My brother said, oh, thank you very much. Took that. And at the end of the day, my brother ended knowing more about contracts in Nigeria. And so now he goes and gets his own contract with the blessing of that man. With that man, because everybody knew that man. And if that man ever said, no, do not give him a contract, he will never get the contract. So, but because he did not mess up that relationship, right? Now, anywhere he goes, when they call that man as a reference, the man said, go ahead, give him the contract. If the contract is 100 million, whatever, then the man just said, go ahead, give him the contract. Many of us right now, we've got to re-examine how we operate. We've got to be patient with ourselves and with people that God has planted in our midst. We've got to understand that wherever you're planted, you are meant to grow it. You are not meant to suffocate the thing. You are meant to grow it. Some of us right now, our victory is within where we're planted. It is right there that we're going to find healing. It is right there we're going to find deliverance. It is right in the middle of that place that we're going to find healing and help. And some of us are supposed to actually take that thing and grow it and run with it as if it's yours. And this is where many of us are missing it and are getting in trouble. So you believe in yourself and you believe in the process. You trust yourself and you trust the process. You map the plan out. You execute it. And when you execute it, understand that whatever you execute, you are not alone. No man is an island. If you are on an island right now, executing things by yourself, well, good luck to you. Good luck to you. Because I've never seen, even those who are billionaires, Oprah will come to you today and tell you, I did not become who I am today because of me. It's because of the people that I surround myself with. But some of us are so selfish, we're so self-centered, all we see is ourselves. And there are times God just wants you to love on the person that he's giving you. Because as you love on that person, you're telling God that I'm okay. And God, when you love on those people that God put in your presence, God will now love back on you. But some of us, we want to take the glory, take everything, just grab everything as if somebody's running after us. Execute, knowing that you are not alone. Whatever problems that you're in tonight, I want you to look that problem in the eye and say, I might be lonely yesterday. I might not understand where you're taking me, God. But now I know that I will finish strong. I know that this is my breakthrough. I know that the word that I've heard today is going to really change something inside of me. I know now to understand that my marriage is sacred. If I'm married, it's sacred. And understand that nobody is perfect. But that even in that marriage, we are called to take action and not lay back and expect everything to fall in place. We are not married to magicians. We are married to human beings like us. And when something goes wrong and we know we need to take action, get up and take action. Don't wait till everything crumbles like myself. Don't wait till everything crumbles. It's so hard. It's incredibly hard to rebuild. Don't wait till everything crumbles. And when everything crumbles, remember that that is the beginning of a new chapter in your life. So don't dwell on the crumbles. Take those crumbles and use them to catapult yourself to the next place that God wants you. Be faithful, that's right. Be grateful, live in gratitude, understanding the same God that did this. There are times I look at this, right? I look at all of this. I have about 7 or 8 of all these things now. And this is IndieFest winner, right? Women filmmakers. And I I look at all of these things now and I say to myself, all of these are from Hollywood, right? And I say to myself, this is a girl that almost jumped off of the cliff. I almost jumped off of the bridge. The enemy almost had me jump off of the bridge, you hear me? This is the same girl that they put me in the middle of a 25 people and tell me, your writing stinks. You'll never make it in Hollywood. And this is the same girl that Hollywood called, without me calling Hollywood. Hollywood came knocking and said, we have watched what you've done through the years with your writing. We have watched what you do. And it says, Dr. Princess Fumi Hancock, Literary Arts Award, Hollywood, USA. Hollywood, USA. Isn't that something? So the same dream that I had as a girl, it took me a long time. It took me a different route. The same dream that I had manifested. 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 Your dreams will manifest. I want you to tell yourself tonight, my dream will manifest. And this is TED Talk, Saudi Arabia. TED Talk, Saudi Arabia. TED Talk. This, isn't that something? This one is People's Choice. People's Choice for screenwriter. Screenwriter. And Hollywood, California. Why am I sharing that? I know some of you have seen it. A lot of you have not. I share that to tell you that whatever dreams that you've had, I don't care how old you are tonight, because I'm going to wrap up now. I don't care how old you are. This is a new day for you. A new day to restructure your mind. A new day to look at the ways that you look at your own life. A new day to tell yourself, I'm going to finish strong. A new day to look at everything that you're doing and say, you know what? I'm going to believe. Because frankly, some of us say it, but we don't really believe in the inside that we have the capacity to do it. But you're going to really say, I'm going to believe that I can do it, and I'm going to trust the process. There are some processes that God will give some people for you, just for you. I know that by experience. Just because of the things that I experienced with my own mentors, there are some processes that God will just give people just for you. And there are some processes God will give you just for other people. The problem is, when God gives it to you for other people, will you release it? Or will you hoard it and say, this is mine, and I want everybody to know that this is mine? I want everybody to know that this is mine. There was something that Florida, I don't know if Florida is here. There was something that Florida did that blew my mind. It blew my mind. It's such a simple thing, but it blew my mind. It blew my mind. It blew my mind what Florida did. For a week now, I heard her, she's been talking about, she was doing a banner, and that when she finished with the banner, she was going to give the group the banner. Well, I was, it was a banner, so I wasn't really focused on the banner. And when the banner came out today, I saw her type and tell everybody that, that she had put the banner inside of the VIP, because the Fearless Visionaries, all of our authors, we have a special place where we meet. And she said she put the banner there for everybody to go and pick up, and that she gave them instructions of how to use it. And when I saw that banner, I know people might not know why I'm crying over that banner. I'm crying because all of my life, all I've done is always to just help other people. And a lot of times I get hurt. People stab me, a lot of things. People disrespect me because they think that I don't know. And I don't do it so that people can put me on a pedestal. I don't. It's just, that's just who I am, to always reach out. And then I thought to myself, because I've been through so much, and if I've been through so much and I came out of it and I asked God, if you bring me out of it, I'll help other people. Why not? If God has called me a midwife, then I can't be jealous. I have to help others. And when I saw that banner, and she put my picture on the banner, in Florida, I was looking for her. I was looking at the banner. Oh, God help me. And I was looking for Florida, and her picture was just small there, and she had everybody there. I said, may God honor you, Florida, because you chose, because Florida could have done it any other way. She could have done it any other way. And it would have been fine with me, because it wasn't something I didn't ask her to do it. I didn't ask her to do it. So you see, there are times we have to spend time to just honor people that God has put in our lives. Because that's what I do with my life. And I hope that all those that I've mentored will understand and use me as an example. People invariably honor me, not because I want to be honored or I ask for it, but they just do. And so there are times when I look out and I see people that are so self-centered, so selfish, and all they want to do is just me, 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 me. I just laugh and say, you're going to be tired of that very soon, because you're going to use your me, me, me to even drive your helpers far away from you. When you do that, you drive your helpers far away. And there are just times God will just have you just honor the people in your life. It doesn't take away from you. It doesn't. In fact, it shows the character of who you are. It shows your character. It shows your character. And the truth is, if you don't have a dime now and you're telling me, oh, princess, when I become a millionaire, I'm going to take care of you. If you can't even give me a dime now, you're not, when you become millionaire, you will forget me. You will walk away. That's what you're going to do. Walk away. I won't even see you again. And not only that, you will live fearless visionary, and if you won't even care what's going on there again. And that's the truth. So forgive me if I'm crying about that today. I know it's something simple, but my thing is, it doesn't take much for somebody to touch my heart. Because when I saw that thing today, I was like, ooh. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what everybody else is going to say about this. And the Holy Spirit said, so what? What do you care? What do you care? She have chosen, that is a way to honor you. And what is it on that banner that is wrong? Nothing on that banner is wrong. And this is me now having my own little self-talk here. Look, tear the veil. I'm just tearing the veil right now, so you all can know. I was going through my own little shenanigan, telling God, wait a minute, why did she put me up there? God, I don't want anybody to say anything. You know, I don't want them to start saying I'm lording over them. I mean, I was going through my own little emotions. I didn't tell Florida this now. Now, Florida is going to hear this when she watches this. She's going to hear this. But I was going through my own little talk, self-talk. And God reminded me, believe, because you've worked hard for that. Trust, you've mapped it out. You are executing. So leave it alone. So I left it alone. I didn't say a word. I just said thank you, and I left it alone. So thank you, everybody. That was very sweet and oh, thank you, Sis Wendy. Thank you. Yes, Florida. Yes. Oh, thank you, Dr. E. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Oh, you're here, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you. I love you, brother. Thank you for hanging there with us. Thank you. All right. So if you have any questions for me, please drop it. I hope that you've been able to learn a little bit about who I am and what brought me to this, where I am, and why I'm doing what I need to do. And always remember, look in the mirror and tell yourself, I will finish strong. Even when you can't, when everything looks like it's falling apart, I will finish strong. If you are a couple here, hold on to each other and say, we will finish strong, right? Where you hold on to each other is powerful, because is you telling the enemy, you cannot get in the middle of us again, because we will finish strong. Whatever it is that you want and desire to do, know that you will finish strong. Understand that God has probably planted you exactly where you need to be, where you need to grow, and not just grow. So be patient with yourself. You are in a growth process, particularly all of my fearless visionaries. Be patient with yourselves. Don't rush the process. Enjoy where you are right now. Understand that there are people looking at you and they're really envious right now, trying to figure out what you're doing. And some might even come to you in a rude manner just to make you and shake you, right? And get you all, discombobulated and losing focus. But you've got to be focused on what God has called you to in the season. Grow inside of fearless visionary. I'm speaking to my girls right now. Grow inside of it. Learn inside of it. Teach others inside of it. Manifest inside of it. Don't rush off. Manifest inside of it. And when you're manifesting and people are coming right, left, and center, don't rush off. Make sure that you know it's time to go. And God is never going to call you out of fearless visionary and then carve fearless visionary and stop fearless visionary at the end of it. No, you're always going to be a fearless visionary. You're always going to be thinking about fearless visionary, how to make it, take it to the next level. Because it was in this fearless visionary that your eyes were open. It was right here in this place that you could see again. It was here that you could hear even more. On this sacred ground is where God opened your eyes. On this sacred ground is where your ears were washed. On this sacred ground called fearless visionary, is where God met you. So this is your sacred place. This is your hiding place. This is a place where even when anything happens, you have to call your sister. Wait a minute now, people. A lot of things are happening. What do you all think? Let me tell you something. Not everything that looks good is great. When I came back from Saudi, I think it was this Wendy I told. When I came back from Saudi, it was hot. I was hot. I came back from Saudi. I had about 4 or 5 keynote speaking. I mean, I'm talking about international organizations. 4 to 5 keynotes. One was in France. I even called Wendy. I asked Wendy, I said, should I go to that France one? Wendy said, oh, France, right? One was in France. One was in Italy. Another one in Europe, UK. I mean, I had everything. But after I prayed, I knew it was not time. Now, I could go and I will be permitted. God will permit me to go to every one of it. And I probably will have a great time. But you want to know something? He kept me for you. He kept me behind so that we could start Fearless Visionary and be focused on it. And so for me, that would have been lucrative. Because when you think about it, when you are called to be a keynote speaker in all of those academic schools, I'm not talking about a small ministry. No, I'm not talking about ministry. I'm talking about academic, right? In the nursing academic, and you're called to become a keynote speaker. That's a lot of money. That's money in your pocket. And then to now have about 5 of it within 3 months, that's a lot of money. You want to know what? I said no. I said no. Right, Sis Wendy, you remember the France one, right? I said absolutely no. They didn't understand it. Then the one in France, then they turn around and say, oh, we have another one in London. We have you slated. We just, all we're going to do is just move your information and put it there. And I still said no. It was a hard no, but I said it. I said it because I know what I'm supposed to be working on now. And I know that it's not time for me to start going out and doing all those kind of stuff under it. I know it was not time. Know your timing. Do not allow anybody to push you into something that know your timing. Value where God has planted you and rock it. Walk it. Grow it. And grow in it. And it has manifested in excellence. Amen. Amen. So thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to wrap up now. So thank you. Any questions? Any questions? Don't despise days of small beginnings. Ramona Jones, thank you for saying that. Since when the year France, you remember. Please, I ask you all to please take this link and just send it out again. Just send it out again. Let's let somebody else hear this and be delivered today. Let them be delivered. Let them be set free. I really, really appreciate every one of you. I love you all. All my fearless sisters and my fearless brothers. I love you all. I thank you for being a part, for just spending this time with me. I really, really appreciate it. And hear the word of God for you today. I know that we're not doing God thing, but you know what? My sisters say Allah, we say God, but we're sisters we're sisters in the spirit. We're sisters in the spirit, and they allow me to be me. So I'm glad that they allow me to be me. So can I just pray over you today that everything that you lay your hands upon, that you will finish strong, that whatever it is that has been the obstacle in your life today, that today is the breaking point where everything, the alabaster box is broken over your life right now. And everything you lay your hands upon, you will begin to prosper, that God will do a turnaround, a 360-degree turnaround on your finances, a 360 turnaround on your businesses, a 360 turnaround on your home. There will be love coming and pouring out of you and oozing out of you, and that everywhere you go, that love will attract people to you. Can I just pray again that wherever it is that you're planted, if you are a fearless visionary and you're planted, that you will grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and continue to grow. That's my prayer for you tonight. Either you're a part of my VIP or you are just a part of my fearless visionary community, that you will begin to grow, because as you grow, we also grow. Can I just ask you today that you will take every day that you pray, when you wake up, can you remember us? Can you remember fearless visionaries? Because we're about to take a tour. We are about to start our tour. And the tour where one of the sisters already announced UN already, so I don't have to hide that one anymore. So there's one of our sisters that is launching the book at the UN, United Nations, and then there are some of my sisters that are going to London with us, and then from London we come back to Atlanta we do Texas we do it's just a lot. North Carolina, where Ramona is and Dr. Lenora, and we do all that. So keep us in prayers that as we go forth, we go with power, we go with strength, we go with might, and that everyone that comes in contact with us, whatever the issue is, may it be abused, that God will just take it and wipe it, whoosh, away from them in the name of God. So this is my prayer for you today. Whatever is the hindrance in your life today, will you just give it and surrender that hindrance? And you say, you hindrance, you are not mightier than my God. And my God has already told me that I will finish strong. So stand on that word today, that I will finish strong and you will finish strong. So thank you, everybody. God bless you. God bless you. Hey, Sis Wendy. Well, we got to talk, sister. Thank you so much for joining us. Please, St. Louis, Dr. Lenora, St. Louis, thank you. St. Louis, Missouri, thank you for reminding me. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. God bless you. Please continue to send this out. We want this to continue to go and go and go and go and go. Oh my God, we have 282 comments already. Woo, woo. Okay, so we got work to do. We got work to do. If you have a story, if you know that you have a story that you know that God is wanting you to share, please just reach out to us at storytellerbistro at gmail.com. Now, my fearless visionaries don't know this, but they're gonna be the panel for the next one, because you're gonna be the panel to choose the ones that will be the next ones that will join you all, because you guys are not going anywhere, right? You're just adding to yourselves. You're adding to yourselves people that you can mentor, just like you have been mentored to. So you guys are going to be the one to help me choose, because you're going to be the one to choose. It's not about the money. It's about getting the right people and making sure that they are able to do what you guys have been through. Because I know there are many people who look at you now and they don't know how much you've been through and how much you're still going through to make this happen. So you guys are going to be my eyes. Sis Wendy, I just saw them eyes that you put there. Ooh, only you can do that. Look at how with them eyes there. So any other questions, and then we'll wrap it. All right. So thank you, everybody. God bless you. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.